Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to the Steelers Game Day pregame. Sam Mason's Pesky, your host with you. You could probably tell by now the view looks a little bit different, and that is because we are using my new gift for Christmas I got from my parents, so thanks to them. It is a camera stand, so the camera stand is now holding the phone up. So that's definitely interesting, that's for sure. It's going to allow me to have better eye contact, hopefully, with you guys, and I'm not constantly going to be looking down the whole time, so definitely interesting, that's for sure. Trying to get my eyes so that it seems like I'm looking at the camera, but anyway, I feel like I'm doing okay at it, better than I did before, that is for sure. Can't really control some stuff. It's easier horizontal the other way, obviously, but yeah. Anyway, though, let's talk about this Steelers Game Day pregame, so playoff edition. Pittsburgh Steelers head up to Buffalo, New York today to take on the Buffalo Bills at 4:30 p.m. on CBS. This game was originally supposed to take place at 1 o'clock yesterday. However, it got shifted to today due to unsafe travel conditions and a travel ban for Erie County, New York, which is where Buffalo and Highmark Stadium is, for those of you who are wondering. But the game will be played today. The Pittsburgh Steelers will head up to Buffalo, New York to take on the Buffalo Bills. And it should be a fun, interesting game, that is for sure. I'm thinking this one comes down to the wire. And I think it's going to be a fair share of touchdowns, that's for sure. You got to remember, there's going to be a ton of wind and a ton of everything here. Originally, I was going to predict 34-28. However, there's no chance of a score like that happening. But I don't think this is like the old Steelers, where there is no offense. Because as you've seen, the past couple games, I mean, looking back, they put up 34 against Cincinnati with Rudolph in at quarterback, 30 against Seattle with Rudolph in at quarterback, and 17 against Baltimore with Rudolph in at quarterback. I think they score at least that today, and I think that gives them a significant edge, that's for sure. However, this game is in Buffalo. We've got to remember. So this one's in Buffalo, and the Bills are actually on a tear. This Buffalo Bills team, they haven't lost, I don't think, since Philly, which was way back in November, the weekend of Thanksgiving. I mean, looking at things the way it goes, they had their bye week 13. They were 500 then, pretty much done. But then they went on a tear. They beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, which was klutz. They destroyed Dallas at home in Buffalo, which is klutz, but it was more klutz before yesterday, to be honest with you. Barely beat the Chargers, but I think that was a different team fired up because of Brandon Staley's firing. Barely beat the Patriots at home, which, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. And then they beat the Dolphins on the road to win the division. So credit to them. They played very good. They're good down the stretch. And this team, I heard, reminds people somewhat of, I think it was the 05 Steelers, the team that beat Peyton Manning in Indianapolis and ended up winning the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't be surprised here if Buffalo makes a deep run. However, I don't think Pittsburgh's going to let them get by easily today. I think Pittsburgh's going to give them all they want. The run game, the O-line, they're going to look strong and provide some hope going into the offseason. And if anything could have provided Pittsburgh hope, it's the fact that the Packers went down into Dallas and defeated the Cowboys yesterday as a 7 seed against a 2 seed, who pretty much is not as, the Bills are probably better, but it's that score earlier this year didn't indicate how much better. So, but that one was a little more likely if you look at the big picture. I wasn't surprised by that because Green Bay typically always wins in Dallas, and yeah, they just drew a terrible opponent. So that game did not reflect Dallas at all. That game, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow when I do my recap, but I don't think that game really reflected Dallas. It was just a bad opponent at a bad time. So, yeah. So, I think that one was easier probably for Green Bay to win as a 7 than it will be for us to win as a 7. But they proved it was possible, so congratulations and credit to them. But you have to remember, we are a better team, I feel like, than Green Bay. We beat them earlier this year with Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett. So, if we played with this scheme with Mason Rudolph and all, I think we beat that team in the same exact game by probably 15, 20 points. So I think we can hang in there with a team like Buffalo. I really do. It'll be interesting. Josh Allen's not going to be able to throw, obviously, as much because of the lever. James Cook is a good running back, but he's not, like, anywhere near the top running backs, like the ones we've faced. So, yeah. And then the secondary, Diggs has struggled big time as of late. He's declining. His value is declining. Gabe Davis might not play. I don't know if he's going to play or not. So, they're not going to be a strong passing game from Buffalo, which is what they thrive on. They're going to rely on their defense. And so is Pittsburgh. This will be a close game. The line's like 9.5. It's not going to be anywhere near that. Obviously, it's going to be a close game, and it's going to come down to the wire. However, I still like Buffalo in this one. Give me Buffalo by a final score of 24-21. Obviously, there's going to be a lack of field goals today. I think a lot of coaches will punt just due to the weather conditions and all that. So that's my theory on that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tired. So, yeah, that's just my theory on that. I think Buffalo will win this one, 24-21. It'll be interesting, that is for sure. So, yeah. Now, I know I had mentioned this on my Steelers game day or not my NFL Wildcard Weekend preview. I didn't want to unveil the full bracket on that because it would spoil this prediction. But here's I will do it on here. Here is the bracket I had for these games. Right now, I'm 2-2, so I've won 2, I've lost 2. So I will, obviously, you know the wild card ones, a lot of them from that video if you watched it, but I'll just reiterate them one more time. Starting with the AFC, Browns and Texans. I did pick the Browns to win. Thank goodness they got walloped by the Texans. So good job, CJ Stroud. Thank you for doing that. D'Amico Ryans too. So awesome job by the Texans. But I did pick the Browns. They lost. Dolphins, Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs. That was a good one because they won. Steelers at the Bills. I'm picking the Bills. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm picking the Bills just because. Browns and Ravens. I picked the Ravens to win, luckily. Who's my ever? Chiefs and Bills. I picked the Bills to win because I think they dominate the Chiefs. Bills and Ravens. I picked the Bills to win and advance to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope today proves it. On the NFC side, we're going to start up top. Eagles and Buccaneers. As you probably all know, that game is tonight, and I picked the Eagles to win that football game. Rams and Lions. I picked the Lions. I got that one right, so I was super happy, super psyched about that one last night. Good win, Detroit. Congratulations to you guys, but Lions won. I picked that right. And the one, obviously, I picked wrong was Cowboys-Packers, and the Packers won. I was thinking about picking them, but I just did because I really couldn't go against Dallas. I really couldn't, but Green Bay gets the job done. Congratulations to them. And then Dallas is eliminated, but I picked Dallas. Eagles and Niners. I picked the Niners, which obviously isn't going to happen. I picked the Niners to win that game. Lions and Cowboys. I picked the Lions to win that game. Lions and 49ers in the NFC Championship. I picked the 49ers to win that game. And the Super Bowl, Bills and 49ers. I picked the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. The San Francisco 49ers are my pick to officially win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry I didn't do that on the show on Friday. I just went to delay it till here so everybody could get there. So nobody would do my Steelers picks. So I didn't want to spoil that for here. So definitely interesting, that's for sure. Hope they do good today. I think it's definitely a potential for an upset, but I'm not seeing it happening. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm because it's cold out there. Enjoy the game. Pray for Israel. And as always, peace. See you for the postgame show tonight.